What is going on, team? Welcome back. It's Xander with Fates or Trading Academy. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and you guys are excited to get back into the market again this week, right? Um, so today we're going to be taking a look at this incoming week. We're going to be looking at the top 10 stocks that you guys find value in that you guys are watching this week. So we're just going to dive right in, break them down, do a technical analysis on them, see if we can find some great opportunities for you guys, um, and see what you guys are watching. So if you guys are looking for great opportunities, stick around. There's definitely something out there that we can probably identify to be a good opportunity. And at the end of this video, I will be throwing out a little weekly tip for you guys. That way, hopefully that helps you guys out with your trading, um, and helps you turn a profit and bring in, some extra money. So the first one we're going to be jumping into is going to be, let's go ahead and do a screen share. So the first stock that you guys are watching that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Costco. Um, so watching Costco, obviously the RSI right off the bat, we're going to be doing an analysis on the 4-hour time frame. Right off the bat, we're going to be taking a quick peek at the RSI and the MACD. Um, MACD obviously is coming down a little bit. RSI, we are approaching the 50 mark, which is about the halfway mark, which indicates that it's more on an uptrend more so than a downtrend. Furthermore, we're going to be taking a look at the price action, right? So first things first, looking at the price action, we can see, we saw a bit of a dip on Monday, and then it came right back up, and it's still holding around the EMA, right? So with the combination of the RSI and the price action, we can see that potentially we might be holding above the EMA. So as of right now, it's something to watch, but once we start breaking and holding a bit of a stronger position, or a stronger price action above the EMA is probably something you'd want to be hopping into then. As of right now, it's not something, it's something I just keep an eye on. We are looking, from current price to previous highs of, we're looking at a 6.68% return. Um, so, it's the opportunities there. It's nothing too crazy. So definitely be careful when going in on something like Costco. Because the return is there, but it's not the greatest, and the setup is not, I wouldn't say, the best. However, definitely keep an eye on it and pay attention. If we're gonna keep holding the RSI trending upwards, and if we see a continuation of the MACD heading up again, along with the price action confirmation, then it's definitely a possibility that we're going to head up at least to, potentially the 380 level, which is about a 5.19% return, um, if not higher. Costco is a strong, a strong company. They are a consistent company. If we're going to take a look at, the overall picture, we've been holding above the SMA pretty much since, May. So I wouldn't say there's a reason to be concerned with this potential dip. So it's definitely, potential opportunity to keep an eye on. So not a bad pick, not not a bad opportunity, but it's not, I wouldn't say, the most prime opportunity, but there's definitely money to be made here, especially if we're going to hold above this EMA in the coming days. Overall, though, the setup is looking fairly good. We're obviously seeing, buying pressure coming in, considering that we had a little bit of a drop today and then it pushed right back up. So definitely one to pay attention to. The next one we're going to take a look at is going to be FedEx, FDX. So FedEx, we saw a pretty major sell-off here happening. We did end up breaking above the EMA in the recent days. I want to say probably in the last week. We did see that RSI push up all the way to 70 once we did see this break up. However, we did get rejected at this resistance level. So we ended up pushing back down. And as of right now, we're kind of holding in between, right? We're really waiting for some sort of price action decision to be made here. So also another one that I would just probably keep on watch. What we want to see is we want to see more volume coming in, and we want to see that push up coming in again, and ideally a break through this resistance level where we got rejected previously. As of right now, though, we are above 50, but it looks like the RSI is heading a bit down. We're having a bit of a consolidation period going on here, so definitely something to keep an eye on. We could very possibly see a continuation downwards. However, if we do break above this resistance, this could be a great opportunity to hop in to pull in, the 16.8, 17% back up to the 305 level. FedEx is a pretty good company, a pretty strong company. So definitely, not something to be concerned about as well, but we don't want to get in too early. We want to get in at the right time, right? Once again, here as well today, on Monday, we saw a pullback and then we saw a push right back up. So we are seeing, a bit of buying pressure coming in. However, we want to see, a hold above this EMA. As of right now, what we're really seeing is we're just seeing, a lot of volatility coming down, coming back up, coming down, coming back up potentially. So definitely something to pay attention to. Ideally, what we're watching is this break of this resistance at around 260 to 59.69, around 260. So that's what we'd be watching with FedEx. Also, I wouldn't say, definitely the opportunity has built up. But once again, we don't want to get in too early. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be waiting for confirmation to get in at the right time. The next one we're going to be watching is Baba. This one's been fairly hot recently, especially with, the reappearance of Jack Ma. Take a peek at the news real quick. Yeah, so ever since really the reappearance, we kind of saw a push back up. This one has been on, if you guys are in the program, you guys have definitely seen me post out this as a now watching opportunity. And I've been talking about this one for quite a bit, as long as it's been selling off. Like I said, I've been mentioning to, hold off and wait for an opportunity. We definitely saw a great one this last week, pushing right back up. As of right now, however, what we're seeing is we're seeing a bit of a push down. And what we really want to see is for it to really play out, find a support, find consolidation, and at that point, begin a reversal. At that point, once we see that reversal, we're going to want to jump right back in. We're hoping, you can hope all you want, but what we really want to see is we want to see it hold above this SMA. We did see this break above the SMA. And if we look at previous patterns and previous history, as long as we were above the SMA, we were always trending to the upside. So now that we had this break to the downside, it was holding below the SMA and downtrending. Now we saw this break above this SMA once again. And, it is holding above the EMA. So, however, what we're seeing with the MACD and the RSIs, we are seeing, weakness here. We are seeing a bit of a downtrend, and we are still seeing some, selling off happening. So we really want this to flatten out, find support, consolidate, and then once we find that support, once we see that consolidation and that reversal, at that point, that would be the next, opportunity to jump into this particular stock. That way we can continue to ride this wave back up to, potentially 319 and with, a 22.3% profit potential. However, manage your risk, right? The next support from current price would be around 252. And that's about a 3.3% risk. So if you're sitting at, if you're taking on a 3% or 4% risk, to potentially, make this 22.3% gain, then it's definitely a good risk to reward ratio. However, once again, make sure we're waiting for that perfect entry, right? Or the better entry. We don't really want to jump into something that's selling off at the moment, and that's kind of what's happening here. So definitely want to pay attention to. Definitely a great risk to reward ratio here. Um, I'm a big fan of Baba, big believer in Baba. So in my opinion, definitely something to be watching. In this week, and in the near future as well. The next one that we're going to take a look at is mRNA, and that is Moderna. So with the current administration, um, and vaccinations and vaccines being pushed more, we're obviously seeing Moderna pushing up, and we've been seeing that ever since pretty much the 1st of January. Um, after the 20th as well, we saw strong pushes up happening here. As of right now, on the 4 hour, we are a bit overbought on the RSI. However, we are still pushing up. We do have, an increase in volume. So we are seeing more volume coming in. We are seeing price action pushing above the SMA. We are holding above the EMA. The only thing that is concerning is we are, a bit overbought on the RSI. Um, when looking at the MACD, however, we still have room. We haven't seen any indications of a reversal. However, this one is a bit riskier of a trade to take. And if we're looking at the profit potential to previous highs, we are looking at about a 20% profit potential. And if we have our risk set to the EMA, that would be approximately 7.4% risk. However, make sure that you're taking proper risk management positions, right? You're managing your risk properly. You're having your stop losses at a comfortable position, whether it's 2%, 1%, 3%, 7%, whatever you want. Really, as long as you're comfortable with that. Um, However, like I said, with everything going on, we are seeing strong pushes up. So this could be a potential runner up to 178. And if it's something that you want to take a risk on and play this one, um, with everything going on, like I said, this could be a good runner, as long as you're managing your risk and as long as you have your stop losses in place. So keep an eye out on the news, keep an eye out on everything that's going on with you know vaccines and the company itself. And if we are seeing positive news and positive catalysts, then the price should continue to head up. um, yeah, just taking a look at the news, we are seeing an increase in vaccinations and vaccine talks. So definitely pay attention to this stock. um, like I said, it's a bit of a riskier play to take, um, but if it's your cup of tea, then definitely something to keep an eye on. Gamestop also has been um, something that a lot of people have been looking at and playing. um, this one, I would be very cautious with GameStop right off the bat. This is a red flag. We did see what we've been seeing over the last pretty much year or the last 6 months is, if we're just paying attention to the volume, we saw some volume spikes, but we never seen crazy price action come along with it. But just recently, basically in the last couple of weeks, we saw some massive volume coming in, a lot of price action happening. The price pushed basically from $20 to 159, and then it pulled right back. So I would really stay clear of this stock, in my opinion, unless you're potentially considering a short play on this. This could be a good short play, but and that's a potential to have a short play, but that's once it breaks the EMA. As of right now, if you're looking to go long on something like this, I would avoid this stock for sure. If we just look back to just a couple months back, we were around $3.77, and now we're at sitting at 159 current price is at, $88, 76, 88. Just a lot of crazy price action happening here. If you're just starting out, um, and you're not too aware of the market and how the market moves, um, definitely stay clear of this stock. I cannot emphasize this enough. A lot of people are going to be falling into this trap. A lot of people are going to be jumping onto the bandwagon, and that's how a lot of people are going to end up losing a lot of money. So avoid this stock. You know, if you're inexperienced, or if you just heard about it, avoid this stock. I promise you, it will be a favor for you. However, it's your money, it's your decisions to make. That is just my personal opinion, and something that I would be doing. I would definitely be avoiding a long position. I would be watching a short play on this potentially. So that's pretty much it. We're seeing, RSI is way overextended on the 4 hour time frame. MACD way overextended. We are seeing, signs of a downtrend coming. We did see a massive, selling pressure here once it ran up to 159. And then we saw a bit of a recovery. We did hold on the EMA, so potentially we could see some more price action moving up a bit here. But I would definitely mark this as a very dangerous stock to be playing around with right now. So, that is my 2 cents on that. The next one we're going to take a look at is going to be Plug Power. So this one, we did see a bit of a pullback. We saw a strong push up. We saw a bit of a pullback happening here. And now we're basically seeing a lot of consolidation. If we're watching the MACD, we saw the pullback happening with MACD. At this point, we're holding above the EMA. It is, the volume is dying down. So we are in a position for a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. What I would be watching is this EMA here on the 4 hour. As long as we're holding above it, we have potential to head up. We do have room here to run up on the RSI as well as the MACD. We did, just cross into the greens on the MACD. So, we could potentially see another retest of the 73 or potential highs. However, be really careful with this one because, like I said, similar to GameStop that we just looked at, this stock used to be trading at 380. Now it's at 73. However, with everything going on, this could make sense more than it would with GameStop, but still something I'd be really careful with. Have your stop losses, manage your guys' risk. This could be a good play back up to, the 73s with the 12%, potential for profit, or maybe a bit higher. But definitely manage your risk, guys, and be really careful with these. Yeah, we could definitely see a break up to the upside. So definitely pay attention. I would set my alerts, above the current price. If we're seeing a push up, this is something I could potentially, you would want to take advantage, or I would want to take advantage of. Also, set one below once we see if it does begin to sell off. That way we can kind of know where to go from there regarding this stock here. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is going to be AMD. So AMD, we found support here around 88. We saw a strong push up. We are approaching, earnings on the 26th, which should be, tomorrow. So depending on how that plays out, depending on, how earnings come out, we're going to either see a break through this, resistance level and potentially a head back up to, the $99 level, which is about a 5%, potential for profit. Or, we can begin to head back down to, the latest support level, which is also a 5.8, potential for risk. However, watch your, if we're keeping an eye out on the EMA, that would be our indicator here. I would definitely wait to see, a little bit more of a play come out of, the RSI and the MACD before I would, take any serious action on this. Definitely just one I'd be watching. Overall, long term, AMD has been doing very well. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But in the short term, if we're watching this in the short term, definitely we're watching this resistance point. We're watching this EMA. And then we're also, paying attention to what happens on earnings and kind of how the market reacts to the data that comes out during earnings. So that's kind of what I would be watching on the AMD stock. Next one would be Neo. So we saw a bit of a pullback on Neo. We did end up finding some support on this support level here. And, the MACD is looking fairly good. The RSI definitely has room for a run. So really, we're really just watching. At this point, what we're going to be watching is we're going to be watching for a break above this EMA. If we are looking to make a run or a position for a long position. So that's what I'd be watching. I'd be watching a break above this EMA around $60 and kind of see. We did see this massive selling pressure coming in today. So we can potentially see a continuation of that happening tomorrow. We want to see a hold, above this support level. If we do break below this, then I do, it would be safe to say we can see a more of a pullback. So really, it just depends what we're seeing tomorrow. If we see a break above the EMA, potentially make a returning run up to the highs. However, it does look like we've ended up getting rejected here twice now. So this could be an indication of a downtrend. Just something to be paying attention to. Keep an eye on. Like I said, your biggest friend here is going to be your EMA, and just watching for a break above it or a continuation downwards. Also keep an eye on the RSI, and your MACD is looking like it's probably going to head into lower lows. So I would probably be expecting lower lows from here on out for the next at least day, maybe two, and kind of see what happens. But that's kind of the situation here with Neo. But we can probably see, or get a potentially better idea as to what's going to happen with Neo if we take a look at Tesla, which is the next one that you guys are watching. And what we've kind of been seeing with Tesla is, higher highs. So, potentially we can make higher highs. We are having, earnings coming out. So that could have an impact on the current price. So be careful with that. Pay attention. We are, a bit overbought on the 4 hour, but, we have been overbought for the longest time here on Tesla. I am personally still, not taking a long position on this anymore. I have exited my positions and I'm waiting for, a blow off top potentially to take a short. That is just my, my thought process on this. I do think that Tesla is a bit overvalued for the current situation that it's in and the current state that it's in. So I do see, a potential short play, incoming. However, I could be wrong. That is just my opinion. That's what I'm watching. So with this pushing up, we can look back at Neo and, considering that they are in the same sector, we could be, saying, potentially it could continue to head up. However, Neo is, a much smaller company than Tesla, and less popular. So, it is a competitor. So, it could very much, begin to sell off while Tesla continues to head up. So they kind of, have been pushing up together. However, Tesla continues to push up. So I would keep an eye on them individually. I wouldn't just go off of one just because one's doing one thing. I would assume that the same thing was happening to the other. I would definitely be paying attention to both of them separately. Tesla, evaluating Tesla, like I said, um, you know, in my opinion, obviously, we're continuing to make higher highs. What I'd be paying attention to is the incoming earnings, kind of see what happens there, and then make my decision from there. That would be what I would do. We are holding above the EMA though. So, it is a positive sign for now. But my biggest concern would be, earnings, what happens to price action after earnings, how, price action reacts to the earnings. And I'm, obviously watching the RSI, it is a bit overbought. So, paying attention to that. We do have some room here on, the MACD, but however, we could always, that's one thing that we can turn around on real quick. I will take a look on the daily chart. On the daily chart, potentially we could see a continuation to the upside. It is looking like, the RSI is still pushing up on the daily, and so is the MACD. So we could potentially see, higher highs on Tesla. Um, that's kind of the situation. What I'd be watching first and foremost is I would be watching the earnings on the 27th, and I would make my decision moving forward from there. Regardless of what, if you're in the stock already or if you're not, definitely, once again, I'm going to continue to remind you guys, manage your risk, have your stop losses in place because things can change really, really quickly. And before you know it, you could be green, and then next thing you know, you're in the red. So, always manage your risk, always paying attention to your downside. And the last one that we're going to be taking a look at for this week is going to be WM, which is waste management. Um, this one is still, holding the support that it's been holding, back in the beginning of January. We are still holding that same support as of right now. Um, we did see a bit of a push down below that just a couple of days ago. But we did see, a pullback up. It does look like, we had a push up here, and then we had a bit of a downtrend. So, potentially we are seeing, a formation. Um, Potentially we are seeing a formation of a bull flag pattern. We are seeing, this push up. Let me get this tool here. We saw this strong, up. That's not the right tool. We saw this strong push up here. And then we have been seeing ever since basically, ever since we saw that push up, we have been seeing, this downtrend taking place. We did, I guess to a degree, potentially we could have done that, or we could do, this right here. We are seeing a lot of consolidation. We did see, a great opportunity present itself. We still haven't broken above the SMA though. So definitely still something I wouldn't be getting into, but I would be definitely watching this one here and continue to watch it. We haven't broken above the SMA back here in May. As you guys know, if we break above the SMA and we're holding above the SMA, we are continuing in an uptrend. We did break below this SMA here, and we've been slightly holding below it. We did have consolidate on it a bit, and then we broke slightly below it. So definitely something to keep watching. We are hoping for a break, or we are waiting and watching for a break to the upside, which would be about a 10% profit potential. Until then, though, not something to get into, just something to keep on your watch lists. So hope you guys found this, helpful, the stock talk, the 10 stocks that we reviewed. Hopefully you guys found value. If you guys did find value, please drop a like. It definitely, helps the channel. It helps get the video out to, people potentially, trading these same stocks that need some guidance or need some help. So you'd definitely be supporting the channel. You'd be also helping others by doing so. If you guys have any comments or questions or concerns or different opinions about, what I've been analyzing and what I've been showing you guys in these stocks, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'd love to, discuss more about them with you guys. And if you guys are not subscribed and you guys like this content and you guys want to continue to see this on a weekly basis, subscribe to the channel. We are going to be putting out more videos, not just, about doing weekly stock talks. We're going to be doing other stock videos regarding stock trading, investing, things of that nature. And the tip that I promised you guys for the week. So a lot of people have been struggling with this when they can't find, a great opportunity to to trade, right? They can't find a great setup, or it's not something that they usually trade. And a lot of people end up taking, a trade that is not, not their trade, and they end up losing money on that. And but what I mean by not their trade, as in it's not their setup. It's not something they usually trade. They're not comfortable with trading it. They're not, comfortable with the risk. They're not comfortable with, the profit potential. They're more so gambling than, investing or trading, right? Because they're just in it just because the market's open. They're trying to, force a trade to play out the way they want it to. And we all know that the market does not play out that same way. So my biggest tip here is to remember this: cash is also a position. If you're just sitting on cash versus putting it into something, cash is also a position. If there's nothing good out, or if you can't find a good opportunity, or if it's not something um, that you normally trade, or you're not comfortable with it, then don't trade it. Give it a day. There's going to be more opportunities tomorrow. There's going to be more opportunities next week. You guys have nothing but time. So stay patient. Look for those prime, opportunities. Look for those opportunities that will allow you to trade your plan, and that you're going to be comfortable with. And then, and only then, are you guys going to develop, a more a stronger foundation for your trading, right? If you guys are just gambling on left and right and hoping that something plays out or something works out, that's not really trading. You guys aren't really having, a strategy. You guys are just, hoping for the best, and that's definitely not the way to go about it. So if you guys have any more questions, or if you guys are interested in potentially joining the program, if you guys are not in the program, I'll be dropping my Instagram below. Feel free to contact me there. And then we can kind of talk about, if you're a good fit for the program, and if the program is a good fit for you. Um, if you guys got this far, you know, you obviously found some value in this. So once again, drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Alrighty, have a great weekend.